Hey, you all. Welcome back to Mirror Expressions, a channel where I take the time to share a little bit of myself with you all. And I invite you all to do the same with me. Go ahead, y'all know what I'm going to ask. Hit thumbs up on this video. Let's push it out into the algorithm. And if you are not a subscriber, go ahead, hit subscribe. Also, take the time and let me know how you're doing by putting a mirror emoji in the chat if you are feeling A1. Like if you've looked in the mirror today, yes. Okay, you are on point and you are feeling what you see. Y'all go ahead, drop me a mirror emoji. But of course, if you're not feeling your optimal, as always, protect your mental health and get back to a healthier you. All right, y'all. Listen. Oh, this is Married at First Sight, Season 16, Episode 9, Partying Ways. Okay, a play on partying because we know one couple decided to get divorced. Alright, so this is the episode where they're hosting their housewarming parties. Their families and friends come over to their places for the first time. So we open up where we left out. Like we see Mac and Dom and Pastor Cal. They're still sitting and talking. And Mac is basically saying he doesn't want to give up. And of course, we left with Dom saying she's over it. Like, I'm just over it. And Pastor Cal is like, what does over it mean? I'm over it all. But what is the it? Like, are you done with the marriage? Or are you done with this conversation? Like, what does that mean? And so, Pastor Cal is just like, what is it? Because she's still kind of like, well, I'm just over it. And so her lack of being able to just communicate effectively is telling her age. You know, it's showing her immaturity, really. And so she's just not ready for marriage, but I don't think Mac is either. So anyway, she goes on to finally say that she wants a divorce. And Mac said that's tough to hear. He actually seemed a little hurt, y'all. Like his whole face turned red hot. So Pastor Cal tries to give Dawn some advice about basically taking time for herself. Basically, just go find yourself, child, because you really weren't old enough to be married. You weren't ready to be married, even though you felt you were. Take some time, figure out who you are and what you want, and da. Right? And so, Dom, you know, well, also, he did admit, like, that maybe 25 was too young. So Dom said she doesn't think so. And Pastor Carol said, you don't quit in a marriage, right? You have to fight for it. You don't run at the first hurdle. So that's pretty much it for them. So Dom tried to apologize to Mac. And I was just like, you know, why? What are you apologizing for now, you know? And so he ended up crying. I don't know what these tears for. I said he probably thinking about that $50,000 he missed out from his mom. Like, dang, I should have took it. I could have been had me a nice part by now. Oh, goodness. Or, you know, I don't know. He could be just really hurt that the experience did not work out for him. Not necessarily that it didn't work out with Dom, but that he just didn't get a good match and it ended up he had a chance with it working out. So he really could be hurt about that. But anyways, Dom ends up, you know. Oh, y'all, this is what I did not understand, right? Okay. So Dawn, you know, she never moved into the apartment, right? We never moved. She brought her stuff and she took it right on back home, right? Y'all remember that, right? Now, why does she have things to pack up? Like a whole box of things. I said, I wonder if this is staged. Like, y'all know how shady production can be. They would do anything for the dramatics of it all. Because we get this sad little shot of her walking down the hallway of the apartment with her little packed up box, the little sad song playing in the background. She looking all pitiful in the face. And I was just like, I don't get it. Like, lady, first of all, where all these issues this box come from if you never moved in? Second of all, like, why are you crying? What you crying for? You wanted this. You asked for the divorce. You know, so I don't get it. It ain't like you don't feel in love with this man, so you ain't crying over him. Like, what is it? Anyway, we see little snippets of the cast, I guess, if that's what you want to say, but of all the couples. Like, you see Jasmine and Aries out walking the dog. We get a glimpse of Shaq doing some type of maintenance on Kristen's car, like something with putting some air in some tires, y'all. We see Nicole and Chris with his dogs. Poor Charlie ain't nowhere to be found. We see Gina telling people at the shop that she will be moving in. I said, well, honey. Well, no, she ended up saying they will be moving in. And all I could think was like, honey, isn't he already there? So you would be the one moving in. But I think I ended up being wrong at the end, because when we saw them moving in, it seemed like both of them were moving in. So I was just kind of, I don't know, confused about that, because I thought that he had already moved in. She was the one that was refusing to move in. But maybe when she didn't move in, he decided he wasn't going to move. So anyway, I don't know. So we end up seeing Clint hanging out with one of his friends, Andrew, right? So they're talking about the marriage. He's telling Andrew how things kind of went on the honeymoon, right? Guy asks, like, you know, is Gina outdoorsy? And Clint is just like, no, she isn't outdoorsy, and all she likes to talk about is the hair salon. And I can remember when Clint was making a big deal about that when the episodes first started, about all she was doing was talking about the hair salon. And I was just like, he's over dramatizing it. Like, he's exaggerating. She is not just always talking about the hair salon. But this is what, 8 episodes in. And Clint, I'm sorry, I have to apologize. I totally agree with you. Like, that's all we get. It's the salon. No matter what, some type of way, she's gonna bring you back to that darn salon. But anyways, so Clint also, you know, was just telling Andrew how their physical attraction is a real barrier for them. And Andrew was just like, well, attraction can be built over time. It's pretty common, even outside of an experiment, for physical attraction to, again, just kind of be built over time. So Andrew said he thinks that Clint is just being very careful right now, but that he's trying to remain positive. So Aries is having lunch with little Miss Opalina. Oh, yeah, I can't even start this without laughing. That doggone Felina, baby. So he's having lunch with Felina, and he's telling her about his experience so far. And, you know, they talk about the honeymoon, hanging out with the other couples. He brings up him not being attracted to her. And so he said he feels like she's attractive, but she's just not his type, right? So, yeah, I've been thinking about this, right? I've been thinking about this and how he is always quick to point out, like, her good qualities, her good attributes, like as far as being loyal and caring and nurturing, i.e. if I was on my dying bed, I know our kids be taken care of, or if I was stuck in the hospital somewhere, I know she gonna come wipe my booty. Yeah, I think Aries is fearful. Like, he's fearful of settling down and being with a woman. Like, I think he's fearful of being with a woman like Jasmine because she has depth to her. She has depth to her, and that's something he's not used to. He used to a big booty and a smile and maybe some air in between. You know what I'm saying? So he's not used to a caliber of woman like Jasmine. And when he tried her, it didn't work. It didn't work on her. And so that did not fall within his F-boy status. Like, he was not happy with it. It deterred his plan. So he's not used to that. So she has now become a challenge to him. And he doesn't like challenges. You know what I'm saying? Like, at least in that department, like when it comes to women, he feels like, because he has that attitude, like that air, like, no, they come to me. Like how he tried to have her serving him grapes in a tub, and she was rubbing him down, like, yeah. So he's not used to that caliber of woman. She's a challenge. He's afraid of failure. He's afraid of having to put in work to actually make a relationship last. Like, he doesn't want to do that. And he's already admitted to feeling like he doesn't know how to lead a family because his father passed away when he was a young age, I think 11. And so he's already admitted to that and like just feeling inadequate in their department. So instead of admitting he's scared of doing things differently, moving differently, coming up at the F-boy status, it's just easy to say, oh, I'm not attracted to her. She's an attractive woman. I'm just not attracted to her. But it sounds like you are. It sounds like you know that things would be good if you were. But you just know you ain't on her standards is what it is. And you're afraid to put in that work. So, yeah. It's easy for him to say, I'm not attracted. She's not my type. So, of course she's not your type because she's making you work. She's demanding something more than physical attraction. Because, honey, sex can get old. We all know that, right? You know what I'm saying? So, Jasmine is demanding and wanting more than that. And like I said, she has depth to her. And Aries is afraid to give more of himself beyond that old surface level BS. Them tricks he been playing. You know? She ain't falling for him. So anyway, stepping down off my little soapbox right now. So yeah, so he and Felina are talking, right? And so Felina tells him, attraction is just physical, right? And Aries says, but I'm such a physical person, so I feel like I got this wall up. Yeah, you got this wall up because it ain't coming easy to you. And so you don't want to work for it again. But anyway, so Felina's like, well, what is the problem? He said it's no sexual attraction, no desire at all. And Aries tells Felina that it came up in front of Pastor Cal. And so she was like, well, what did Jasmine say? So Aries says she handled it like a lady, like very classy and mature. And so, she said, he went on to say that she said, of course she wants her husband to rip her clothes off, but understanding that's not where he is, but she's hopeful that there will be change, right? So here go that cousin. Sound textbook. I cannot stand her. Then she gets in her own little confessional again, talking about Jasmine seems fake to me. If that hurt you, just say it hurt you. Like, you cannot tell that woman how to feel or how to express how she feels. Like, really? She already made it known that she's not getting what she wants when she said clearly, yes, she wants her husband to rip her clothes off, but that's not happening. Like, let her be, because just because you're not mature enough to fathom trying to understand where someone else may be and attempt to meet them where they are, even though your cousin is trash, like, girl, bye. Like, at this point, throw both of y'all away. Like, deuces. Oh my goodness. Like, what do you want her just to be around here hollering and making a big deal out of? Like, everybody is not like that. Everybody does not handle things like that. Some people are able to communicate without doing that, and also without having to be negative, and can remain hopeful about things, and also try to see things from somebody else's point of view. So yeah. Anyway, so he tells her about the housewarming, and she says she's, in extending an invite, right? And so she tells him that she's not coming because she doesn't want to be involved in anything she doesn't see going anywhere. Okay. I mean, who gives a darn? You know what I'm saying? So then she asks him, well, do you want to be married? And he said, yeah. She said, so be a husband and have sex with your wife then. Now, I told you, you shouldn't have got married. So now you got two choices. Either work on getting connected with your partner or get up out of it and stop wasting time. Now, on this, y'all, I can actually agree with. Now, she actually said something when she said that either piss or get your butt off the pot is. Over in Nicole, she's meeting up with her little friend. I think her name Julianne or something like that. I'm sorry, friend, I didn't get your name, but I think it's Julianne. So Nicole is telling her that Chris is almost too nice, right? And she feels like he will never stand up to her because they're in this experiment where it's just not that easy to just give up. So she's taking at all the things that she would normally run from and realizing that they're actually not bad qualities. So she brings up how it's hard for her to take compliments and how he compliments her all the time. So she's always kind of second guessing if he really means them or not. Sounds like some kind of self-sabotaging going on. Like, it's definitely insecurities. Like, I feel like she's constantly having to be reassured of things, just like how she's always asking him daily, like, if today was decision day, would you say yes? Like, it's just like needing that constant reassurance. Like, you're saying I'm pretty, do you really mean that? Or how she's always, it's okay, are you okay with that? You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah. So I think in her mind, her mind is going a mile a minute. You know what I'm saying? She just needs to take a breather and calm down. Because to me, that would get overwhelming to be with a partner like that is like that all the time. Like, lady, just chill. You know what I'm saying? That's what I would probably want to tell her. And not that she's in a bad place or coming from a bad place, but it's just, it could be too much. Like, relax, chill. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, so she says she's waiting to find that one thing wrong, like again, insecurities. So just waiting for that other shoe to drop. So Nicole says she's afraid she's going to be the one to cause the issues in their marriage. So Fran said that Chris sounds like a great guy and that she's kind of seeing a change in Nicole since they've been together. And she sees Nicole becoming more vulnerable, and she can tell that she really wants this to work out. So anyway, Gina and Clint are moving in. Like I said, I guess I was wrong about Clint already being there. It looks like they're both kind of moving in. So, and Anyway, I don't know. It was just crazy. Like, I don't know. I didn't get the whole apartment thing, to be honest. Because it actually kind of looked like he was moving in. She was already there. And I'm just like, surely she was not already there when she was the one that didn't want to move in the first place. But listen, I don't know. At any rate, they are both now in the shared apartment, right? So Gina said Pastor Cal, made a valid point about them making a predetermined decision about things if they didn't give moving in together a shot. So here they are. They're both in the shared apartment. So Gina said she's nervous, and Clint said, it's a big step, but they would just take it day by day. So he's staying in one room and she's staying in the other, but at least they're there together. So over with Jasmine and Aries, they're talking about the housewarming. He brings up how when they were making a guest list the previous day, Jasmine was refusing to write Felina's name down on the guest list. So Jasmine said she's not someone I feel comfortable being around. In her confessional, she said, there's no reason having someone in her presence who doesn't think that she's genuine. So then Aries says, well, I invited her anyway, but she said she didn't want to come. Now, Aries, I didn't know that when you invited Felina that your wife had already said she didn't want her there. First off, you're wrong for going behind her back and inviting her if you already knew there was an issue. Second of all, what was your point in bringing it up just to say she didn't want to come anyway? Like, if you are so-called wanting Felina and your wife to get to better terms, like stuff like that is just driving a bigger wedge to me. Like, what was the point of even saying, well, I invited her and she said she didn't want to come? You know what I'm saying? Like, I didn't get that. That was messy as hell. So some things I just say, they just don't need to be said. Some things you could just keep to yourself. But at any rate, Jasmine was like, good. So the feeling is mutual. So then Aries proceeds to try to justify or like make excuses for Felina, talking about, oh well, she's just this type of person. Like, if you don't answer her how she feels you should answer things, then your answers are scripted. Oh, she wasn't a fan of this, so it's not really a real thing for her yet. Yada 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 yada. Like, like there is no excuse for how she's acting, no matter what you say. Anyway, y'all, we moving on. Day 15 of marriage, and it's party day. I love a good party, but anyway, it's party day. So Kristen and Nicole, we see them. Their theme is Let's Flamingo. How cute! I like that theme. Let's Flamingo. So, they got everything decorated out, all tropical, right? So, Nicole has got them these matching shirts. They ugly as hell, too. I'm sorry, Nicole, them things were ugly. So, she's just like, do you want to wear it? You don't have to. It's okay to say no. Tell me, do you want to wear it? Do you really want to wear it? Like, because at first he was just kind of like he looked like he would, but then she kept saying, well, do you really want to? You don't have to. You don't have to. You can tell me, I was just like, oh my gosh. So he finally was just like, no, he really didn't want to wear them, so I just said, to me, mine just be a good sport and keep it moving, but then also I can get like, it was like she bought him, but then she was waiting on him to say no. Like, you don't have to. Do you really want to? Do you want to? You don't really have to. It's okay to tell me no. Like, girl. Like, to me, I would have just rolled with the first answer. If he wasn't all that comfortable, oh so be it. He said yes, and we finna wear these matching shirts, and it's gonna be what it's gonna be. But anyway, it's just, I don't know. Nicole also, to me, keeps giving him an easy way out. Like, that's going to get tired too. That's going to get old real quick too. To me, like, she's being way too accommodating to him. And we're not actually seeing the same thing from him for her. So yeah, I think that's gonna get way old too quick too. But anyway, over with Kirsten and Shaquille. So they're decorating when their guests arrive. So they were very intentional about who they invited. Now I like that. They purposely invited two married couples, one from his side of the family and one from her side, you know, just so that they may be able to give them some insight and advice. Like, I just love the intentionalness of it all, the intentionality of it all, I guess. And so, yeah, so they end up talking about the honeymoon for a bit, and one of the ladies asked how romantic they things get on the honeymoon, because I think Kirsten brought up that it was fun and romantic. And like, Kirsten, now you know, girl. There was nothing romantic for y'all. There was nothing romantic going on between y'all. So, yeah, homegirl was just like, well, how romantic did things get on the honeymoon? So, they're all joking, and you know, everyone just kind of started talking over everybody, making jokes, and somebody was just like, it wasn't no consummation, just conversation, yada, 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 right? So, honestly, when they were joking about this, Shaq kind of looked like he was over, because he knew good and hell well that he couldn't even say that he had gotten a kiss at that point, let alone talk about some consummating the marriage. Like, he looked like he laughed. You know how you like, but you dropped that real quick because you know you just being fake about it anyway. It was like that kind of look. So yeah, he had that fake smile on his face, but behind it, he probably really wanted to say, can we just talk about something else? So somebody did ask, well, did y'all at least kiss? You know, were y'all just kissing or whatever? So that homeboy said, yeah, I'm not feeling no kissing energy. Y'all, when he called him out like that, I just holler when he called them out. I don't feel no kissing energy. I said, baby, my brother, you are correct. So Kirsten said, I'm just not a good kisser. Then she slipped up talking about, that's why we didn't do a lot of kissing on the honeymoon. Nah, you had it right, Kirsten, the first time. That's why y'all haven't kissed. Talking about they didn't do a lot. Baby, what kissing did y'all do? Him kissing their forehead? Because, baby, that's about it. Talk about we didn't do a lot of kissing. Now, you had it right the first time. That's why we haven't kissed. Anyway, I said, bingo, bingo. That just solidified for me what I already thought about Kirsten. And that is that she is being very cautious about how she is being portrayed on TV, on that camera. Now, Felina, you want to talk about somebody being fake? This is that, if you ask me. Now, you come jump down this one throat. You come for her. You know what I'm saying? Because she puts on for the camera, baby. Just like she just did that. That's why we haven't. That's why we didn't do a lot of kissing. Like how she switched it up so quick. You know, ain't no kissing going on. But I just noticed, like, even her body language, like, around people, like she was all leaning on towards him, and like, she puts on for the camera, and apparently for anybody that else that comes around really. So her cousin said she needs to allow Shaq to determine if she's a good kisser. I said, child, that is not the real reason that they are not kissing. That is not the reason. It's been one excuse after another as to why she hasn't kissed that man. You know, just like it was what? She started off, if I'm not attracted to him, I'm not gonna kiss him, right? And then it was, well, if he don't ask me, I'm not gonna kiss him. And then he asked, and then it was, we need to wait. I need to, and now it's, you ain't a good kisser, girl. Stop. Like I said, it's one excuse after the other. You just don't like him. And instead of wanting to say that, you're going to put on this front like you do, but you're going to make excuses as to why there's no type of intimacy going on between the two of y'all. Like, I'm just not a good kisser. Oh, okay. Okay. That's just like, how she make up all these excuses why she ain't got no furniture in her house. Got like 11 reasons why her home bare. And ain't none of it makes sense. It's all bull-ish if you ask me. Talking about it, well, it was taking 8 months to deliver, so I canceled the order. Why the hell you cancel the order? I mean, at this point, you ain't got no furniture, no way. What's wrong? What was wrong waiting them 8 months to get your furniture? At least you would have had something. like, make it make sense. But anyway, so in his confessional, Shaq said, you know, he enjoys kissing. So Kirsten not being comfortable with kissing is something, you know, he has to compromise on and allow intimacy to grow. And I just said, oh, poor Shaq. He is remaining so optimistic about things with her. And like, I don't think he sees it coming, honestly. I really don't. Like, she just is not into him. And I just don't think he sees it coming. So his folks go talk to Kirsten, and so she says she's really trying to open up to him and with him, and they tell her that the two of them, like, because it was a couple, that they were friends for over a year, and their physical attraction had to grow for each other. Like, they were not physically into each other like that at first either, but it was something that has to grow. And so his friend asked her, can she see herself with Shaq for the rest of her life? And so here she go. I just can't answer that right now. Girl, you already know you do not see him. You don't see yourself with him past this experiment, to be honest. But anyway, over with Shaquille. He's asking her peeps, is he being like too patient with her? And like, should he speed it up or slow it down? I say, yeah, you are. You are being too patient. Too patient. And to me, just going for the okie doke. And so her cousin said, you know, you're going to have to find out what she needs and when. It's like, at time, she may need that more dominant presence, and at times, she may not. So Shaquille said he knows attraction grows, but if their goal is to make it to decision day, then what makes, you know, her so attracted to me? So I like what the cousin said at that point, because she was just like, number one, the goal should be beyond decision day, not to decisions, not up to decision day. It should be beyond decision day. It should be for a lifetime. So she just said she hopes that the two of them can move beyond being just friends and more into a husband and wife role. Like, I think we will all want that, especially for Shaquille, because he seems like he's really in it to win it. But unfortunately, I'm not seeing it. You know what I'm saying? So over to Chris and Nicole, right? Chris's brother shows up along with some of her friends. So they got things all decorated, all pretty, looking all tropical and whatnot. So they're looking at the wedding. They're looking at the little wedding photo, right? And so Nicole go tells them how she went off about the wedding, the original wedding photo that was in it. So she has changed that, mind you, because remember last episode we saw her yelling at the camera like, y'all chose this picture, how dare y'all, this ugly, da 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 da. So she has switched that picture out and has a new wedding photo in there of them. And so she was telling them about it and how upset she got. And then y'all, she shows them the picture. So she done hid the picture behind the new picture, basically. I was like, girl, stop. So anyway, everybody was dressed up, matching the theme. Even though they didn't wear the shirt, Nicole and Chris, they was still dressed up like she had on a little cute, little tropical looking romper. He had on a little shirt he said he had bought for Jamaica or something, and just didn't get a chance to wear or whatever or something. But it was tropical. It had like the little palm trees on it. So anyway, one of the guests asked about the shirt, excuse me, like, was it plain or whatever? And so he was like, no. But that's when Nicole brings up that wait, hold on, let me finish my sentence. So he was like, no, he just happened to have that shirt. But that's also when Nicole brings up the matching shirts, right? So she goes to get them. She bring them out, talking about, the cheesy matching shirts. So, she's showing them, and she said that she's glad that he's speaking his mind. But again, what I'm seeing is he's just not willing to bend for you, Nicole. Because she was saying she was glad he spoke his mind about not wanting to wear the shirts, basically. And like I said, what I'm seeing is he's just not willing to bend for the things that you want. Whereas, of course, she is for him. But anyway, it wouldn't have hurt anything other than maybe be a good laugh if they had worn them little ugly ass shirts. But then he had the nerve to say, well, I appreciate her effort though. Like, really, Chris? Really? Anyway, so her friends then pull him off to the side, and he says that things are going way better than he expected. And the same friend she went to eat lunch with was there. I think her name's Julianne, right? And we just gonna call Julianne. If it's not there, I'm sorry, girl. But anyway, so Julianne was there, and so she asked him, like, are there things that he thinks will get annoying in a few weeks? And I feel like she asking that because she knows her friend. Like I said, because I would start to get annoyed by Nicole after a while. Like, sweet soul, but yes, I would definitely get annoyed by her. But anyway, so she asked her, yeah, are there things that he thinks will get annoying in a few weeks? Hell to the yeah. Yeah, I said I can name one myself, constantly asking if today was decision day. Would you say yes? But anyway, he brings up that she gets a little bit more sad about things than he would, but he likes that she's strong and opinionated. So he never really answers. So Fred asks, well, when she has her issues, how does it make him feel? And he said, she hasn't done anything towards him, so he doesn't know what their first roadblock would look like. So here go, friend. Yeah, because you don't seem like a fighter. I said, well, damn. Tell the man he weak without saying he's weak. Oh, child. What I gleaned from their conversation was he never really directly answered any of their questions that they asked him. And that they were trying to kind of say that Nicole can be a bit much. And he needs to stand up for her. Because they kept even saying little stuff like, don't let her run over you. Or, you know what I'm saying? Like, they know their friend, apparently. Like... And because this is not the first time we're hearing this, like even she says, she has such a strong personality and yada yada yada. So like to me, it's like be weary. Like you haven't seen anything yet. That's what it says to me. So his brother is left talking with Nicole. His other friend end up showing up during that time too. So and friend came in straight away asking a question. Friend was just like, what's up? Have y'all had any arguments yet? And so she said no, but she brings up how he's a people pleaser. And so she said, it's an admirable quality, but she also knows that he's been walked over previously, and she basically doesn't want it to get to the point, or she doesn't want things to get to that point because her personality can be very strong, right? So, his brother asks, well, does she like making decisions on her own? Is she all for the compromise? I said, well, your brother likes to make his own decisions just like he did with the apartment. Insert y'all. In the 9-month renewal of such an odd number, I was just thinking about that. After last week's episodes, like, I usually think about, like, if you're not renewing for a whole year, usually I'm thinking, like, either a month to month or a 6-month lease, not a 9-month. Like, is that just me thinking that, or have I been out the renting loop for so long that, like, a 9-month leases are like a thing now? Like, I'm just curious because to me that was just such an odd number. But anyways, Nicole said, she's open to compromise. She said it doesn't make her happy if he's only doing things to benefit her, yet he's secretly miserable. Like, she wouldn't be happy in that instance. So, Nicole, you have to remember that when it comes to yourself, you also need to be happy too. Like, you don't need to do things to benefit him, but secretly be miserable as well. I.e. your dog. You know what I'm saying? So, back with Chris and her friends, he brings up how Nicole has told him she has a problem when he does things to make her happy. And her friends, just come in and tell him that basically it's nice that you're nice, but don't be a pushover. Like, Nicole's not used to somebody being nice to her, and it's nice that you're nice, but don't be a pushover for Nicole. Basically, is what they were telling her. Anyway, over with Aris and Jasmine at their party. Jasmine's sister and aunt comes, right? And then two of Aris's friends come, and I don't know what they was representing, but they both had these hats on with this RW, whatever the RW is. I'm sure it's what they wanted us to notice. Because other than that, they kind of look slouchy better. I don't know. But anyhow, then, so his friends are getting acquainted with, they're all getting acquainted with each other or whatever. And so, they're just talking, sitting and talking. And, oh, they bring up the dog. Like, they're playing with the dog. And so her sister is just like, Duchess is one of 4, right? And so the friends were like, what? Like, damn. One of 4. So they like, you got 4 dogs? You know what I'm saying? Oh, their facial expressions were like, hell to the no. So one of his friends, asked that outside of the experiment, did her dog sleep in the bed with her? Like, talking about Duchess, right? And Jasmine's like, yeah, they all sleep in the bed with me, all 4 of them. And I just said, what is up with sleeping with these dogs? Now, Now, y'all get me. And please don't feel offended if that is your thing. Like, I'm a dog person. I love dogs, you know. And if you're on my channel and a subscriber, you've probably seen the video of my two little sisters. They're my little babies, but they don't live with me. They just come to visit Big Sis. Um, but however, when they come to visit, they will attempt to come and sleep with me. Well, at least one of them. The other one automatically would just go to the chase at the foot of my bed. But now the little rowdy one, the little rambunctious one, the leader of the two, she thinks she belongs to everybody, and that everybody and everything belongs to her. And she will come and try to get in my bed and take over. Like, I have to be, no. You're not sleeping in my bed, honey. Like, you can politely get on down. And so then she will suck her way down to the chase where the other puppy dog is already at, right? And now, I ain't gonna lie. Now, sometimes when the morning comes and I wake up, and there she is right beside me in my bed. She would have been snuck her little butt in my bed sometime during the night. But I say all that to say, I ain't just out here willingly sleeping with no dog now. Like, what is it? Little old four of them. And then I'm just looking at the size of Duchess. Like, Duchess ain't no little beady dog. Now, my little sisters, they're little teeny tiny dogs. Now, they are. But I just think about sleeping with 4 dogs that size. Or then looking at Chris dogs, because they're even bigger. Like, I don't get it. So, anyway, y'all. Jazz was like, yeah, I sleep with all of them. Eris said, all of them? She said, yes. She said, I was single, sleeping in a king-size bed. You know what I'm saying? Auntie said, what's the problem? You still trying to get adjusted to one dog? He said, yeah. So his friends wants to know what have been some of the struggles they've gone through so far, right? So Eris said that both of them are not the best communicators. Jasmine said, let me clarify, I'm not the best communicator in a relationship. Right? So Jazz, now I would have to venture to say there will be either across the board, but let's just say you're right. And when I say across the board, like, usually if somebody is just not a good communicator, they're just not a good communicator, period. I'm not just a good communicator in certain places, right? So, but she's saying she's just not a good communicator in a relationship. So let's say you're right. Let's say you're just having a deficit in communicating within a relationship, right? That says to me that there are some insecurities and fear that when it comes to you and your relationships. Like, some things need to be healed that maybe you haven't quite identified, right? Because not being a good communicator in a relationship, it just kind of means to me like you're scared to speak up. You're scared to let your needs and wants known. And so, yeah. But anyways, we won't go too deep into this. So, but that's just kind of what speaks to me when she said that. So Eris wants to give an example, right, of how the communication have been off. So he brings up how he wanted to invite Felina, but how Jasmine didn't, right? He talks about how Felina and Jasmine don't have the best of relationship. So as they were making a guest list, he was just like, Jasmine just brushed it off, right? She just brushed it off. But then afterwards, she sent a text saying she wasn't comfortable with her coming. He said he would have preferred her to say something in the moment versus later. And I get that, Aries. I really do, but also know that better late than never, you know, because it could have also been her processing her feelings about that too. Like, just being like, I don't like this person. I know this is somebody important to my husband though. Is this something I really want to deal with or not? Um and just coming to the conclusion later on that, hey, no, I really don't want to deal with this. So let me go ahead and let Aries know how I'm feeling. You know what I'm saying? And I don't know if that was the case, but it very well could have been. So don't fault her for not saying something in that moment. Like I said, better late than never. She let it be known that, hey, this is not what I want. I don't want her in my space. And so then you keep moving. You know what I'm saying? So, but anyway, his friends asked, is it a personality clash? And Jasmine was just like, I can't say that because I don't really know her. You know what I'm saying? But I felt disrespected by her. And so it's just a matter of not wanting her in my space right now. So friend wants to know, how does Aries feel about that? And he said, obviously, two important women in his life. They both are. And he wants them to get along, but he has to give that situation grace. And again, like Aries, if you're really wanting them to get along, you're not doing the things to foster that. You know what I'm saying? Like, you got to be better at standing up for your wife in Felina's presence. You don't then come back and say and tell your wife like how petty Felina is being, like saying, well, I ain't want to be invited no way. You know what I'm saying? I'm not coming. Like you don't do those things. Like, if you really want to help to mend that relationship, or I don't even have to say men, because there was not ever a previous relationship, but you got to do things to foster their relationship, and you're not doing it right now. So anyway, Auntie said, you're married now, so you have to make sure that your wife is comfortable. And I agree with Auntie. Like, you have to put your wife first. Like, you got to cover her, like, above anyone else. And that includes their cousin Felina. So anyway, wife comes first. And so again, Aries comes with the excuses. I understand her bluntness, whereas Jasmine doesn't. And who gives a damn? Bluntness or not, she's rude as fuck. Like, come on now. Let's call a thing a thing. So his friends got their little moment of shine in their confessional, honey. They weren't talking about too much, so I can't even really tell you what was said. They seem to just be happy to have that moment in the confessional. So Sister and Auntie get Aries by himself. So Sister asks, well, how has it been sharing a space? And he said, so far it's been okay, but in the long run, he knows that they will have to get a bigger place when they leave, because Jasmine has the 4 dogs. So he said, so Auntie asks, like, well, what if she was willing to give up her dogs? He said, I would be super excited. Not you would be super excited. Aries like, I'm not here for them dogs. So anyway, over with his friends, they're asking her about any of her concerns, and so she says that they're not having sex. There's no sexual chemistry, even though he says he is a sexual person. So they asked, did the expert pick them right? Does she think that they picked them as a good match? She said she thinks that they did. They just have to work over their hurdles. So back with Auntie and Aries, she said, so what are your expectations? And he said to continue to get to know each other, but that they needed a plan. And Auntie is just like, well, I know Jasmine is in this, you know. And so I think she asked, like, are you willing to take the effort to show that you're falling in love? And Eric just said, I will try to see where it goes. All right, so Dom is meeting with her mama, y'all. And mama done got their hair done. She done got a whole color change. It's kind of like Dom's color, you know. And then she done get, it looked like kind of like braids, but with a different kind of hair that she tried to make it look like Dom's type of hair, like literally type, like, you know, like my hair naturally will be like a 4B probably. Dom is probably somewhere up in a 3A or so. So she done got her some hair that looks like hers. And I cannot say that I'm a fan of it. To me, it's not flattering. But anyway, mom is saying how sad she is. So I said, oh, we were supposed to be having you all's honeymoon, housewarming. I mean, and I was just like, oh, Mama is sad. Mama was ready. Do you hear me? And she is not getting her moment, baby. She said she wished she had the opportunity to talk to him before things ever got to this point. And don't say no, because he started to be very petty early on. So she goes on the Let's Talk Bad About Mac tour, right? So her mom is just like, well, he didn't really have time to work on any changes now, did he? And baby, Dom's mom said, you need to shut up and put up. Like, Dom mom just like, I done put you on this show. I done got you on here. Now you ain't acting right. And I'm not getting my moment to shine. So she also asked is there anything she could have done differently? If there is anything she could have done differently, like being more patient. So Dawn was like, I was patient and I expected more at 34. So mom did a confessional talking about how disappointed she was, that they all came together for the wedding and da 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 da. I said, baby, she is sad. Like, she is acting like she is the one getting a divorce at this point. She asked us, Dawn plan on seeing him again and if she's dead set on her decision. Mama was like, come on, come get my daughter. Please come get her. She is clearly more disappointed than Dawn. She wanted that whole experience, baby. And she done got her matching hair to Dawn and everything for the camera. And now it will not get seen after this point. So over with Gina and Clint, they had their friends over for their housewarming. They had like a fiesta type of thing or whatever. And I noticed that they had just all ladies over, like 2 of his lady friends and 2 of her lady friends, right? So Clint was the only guy holding it down. So she goes and talks with his friends and vice versa. Her friends went straight to it. She said she wants to know how it's really going. And Clint said, you know, that they've had their peaks and their valleys or whatever. He said they were brutally honest and that can be a point of contention for them. And so her friend said, well, it's better to say and then kind of reel it back in versus hold it in and have secrets. Clint said he feels that they both are foundationally at a point to have like a successful marriage, like as far as like emotionally stable, financially stable. So yeah. Over with Gina, her friends, I think they get in their confessional at this point, her 2 friends, And they were just saying that the physical is what most people go to, like it's the easiest thing up front, right? But that there are other things like their values, their foundation, is where they should really focus their attention, because that's really where they line up and match it. So with his friends, one of them was telling Gina that if she continues to be hyper focused on the little things, it's going to tear them apart. And Gina kind of agreed, which I was shocked. You know, she said that yeah, she needs to focus on the positive, and she also even admitted to overthinking the whole not moving in thing or whatever. I said, okay, y'all better come through. Y'all better come through. Okay. But anyway, it's day 17, right? And so the couples are meeting up for a potluck in like the little clubhouse. And so they all show up, including Dom and McKinley. And I was just like, is this like a color theme party or something? Because I just noticed that all the couples were like drinking out of matching cups, like the little solo cups. Like Kirsten had on her orange, and she and Shaq were drinking out of orange cups, and Jasmine was wearing green, and they had green cups, and Chris had on his magenta shirt, and they had magenta cups. Like, it wasn't your typical different color solo cups, like the red cups or a blue cup. Like, it was like an orange, a green, a magenta, you know. So I was like, you know, what's up? I said, see what y'all trying to do right there or whatever. Anyway, just observation. So they start off by talking about their housewarming parties, and Gina speaks on how Clint is a good cook and how he was able to hold his own in a house full of women. Like, she is really going in on the compliments. And I was like, okay. And Clint was just saying, you know, how they had come a long way and how he's looking forward to diving deep with Gina. Like, what did 5-year-old Gina want versus present day Gina? I said, okay, I see y'all. I'm liking what I see, even though I still don't think y'all gonna make it. But I am liking the vibe I'm getting from y'all right now. Then Meg asked the other couples, has anyone had sex yet? Right. So Chris and Nicole, they speak up. They say that, you know, they done got it in. Here go Aries. Nicole has been the only wife so far to get her back blown out. But I guess the other couples are moving along at a slower pace. Baby, worry about yourself. Worry about who back you blowing out over there. Because it ain't your wife, and obviously she wants you to. And look, y'all, they were in like a couple's confessional, him and Jasmine, when he said that, y'all. And Jasmine's face was like at first she was laughing until he got to that part about, I guess all the other couples are going at a slower pace. Like, Jasmine was just like, really like, I wish that was me, but it's not. And I'm sick of hearing him talking about blowing backs out, because he probably ain't doing ish in that bed, to be honest, y'all. Oh, anyway, Nicole made a joke that Chris's back was hurting the next morning because she blew the back out of Nicole. Now, I don't think that's how that works. Meanwhile, Jasmine's still on that pal because of the sexuals of it all that she's not getting. So, Clint asked Jasmine and Aries, like, Jess was like, no, they are not doing anything. Yeah, but then she did. She hung her head, and I didn't like that. Like, she really was just like, and did it for a good little minute, too. Like, girl, don't hang your head over that Negro. And I didn't like that. Like, don't be shamed. It's not you, Jasmine. It's that old fool you're with. It is not you. So then they asked, well, are y'all at least kissing? And Jasmine's like, occasionally. Y'all production show so shady. Wow, when they asked were they kissing, did the camera pan over to Shaquille and Kirsten? Did y'all notice it? Over there, sitting over there, and they matching arm, and they were looking. It was Kirsten so blank in the face, girl, cause you know that's her poker face, cause she know ain't nothing going on over there. They ain't even kissing occasionally, girl. So Jasmine tells the group, you know, that she is sexually attracted to Aries, but he's not attracted to her in the same way. She said she's never been in a relationship where she's had to initiate. And so here go Aries. It's new for me too. So Gina pipes up that, you know, that they're not alone, and Clint ends up co-signing, and Shaq is like, you know, well, Kirsten wasn't attracted to me, and now she can't stop rubbing my head. Shaq, now you know good and doggone well that you and Kirsten ain't got nothing going on over there. Oh, goodness. You just heard all them questions they asked Aries and Jasmine, and they are doing more than y'all are. So you know ain't nothing going on. I said rubbing that head don't mean a thing. Hell, I rub my dad's bald head all the time. It doesn't mean nothing. It's just something I do, like a habit at this point, really. Like, so, her rub your head ain't nothing. So Dom and Mac finally tell the group that they are getting a divorce, and everybody was like, why? Dom said that there was confusion because Mac made some comments that made me feel he wasn't happy, and I'm positive vibes only. I don't like negativity, and it was best to cut things off before they got toxic. So Mac said, I don't agree. I was blindsided by her asking for a divorce. He said he was worn down by the belittling that started on the honeymoon, and that there was no compromise on her part. I said, I'm glad he spoke his truth and then just let her paint their narrative. You know, now I'm not saying he's completely right and that she's completely wrong, but I didn't like how she just tried to make it out as it was an all him type of thing. Like it was all him that things didn't work out. You know what I'm saying? So Clint said, throwing in the towel is easy, and I challenge y'all to take a step back and try to stick it out. It could be something there, right? So Kirsten chimes in talking about, yeah, don't give up on him so fast. You won't want nobody to give up on you. I said, lady, sit down. Sit down. Cause you up here trying to give people advice like you really pouring into your marriage like you should be. Girl, stop. So Shaq and Kirsten, in their confessional, you know, they did a little couples confessional. And Shaq said, you know, they haven't had any real conversations to get to know each other, talking about Mac and Don, right? And that they were pulling against each other instead of getting to know each other, right? So Nicole tells Dom that she is going to regret trying, and she asks, is there any scenario where maybe taking time apart would help? And so Dom answers maybe. And so they all start cheering and toasting to her saying maybe, right? Like, why are y'all playing in McKinley's face at this point? Like, trying to get in my hands on false hope pretty much is what it's coming across, because she did not mean it maybe. She did not. And that was clear. That was clear to me. All day clear. So McKinley said, you know, all this back and forth with Dom is an immature thing to do. Like, it's a young man and young woman's game, and that's the game she's playing. So back in the apartment, we see Dom and McKinley talking. And so she said she felt so much pressure from meeting with the other couples, And he agreed, and he said, that wasn't his intent. So he asked her, well, why she said maybe. What does she mean by that? So she said, when everyone is looking at you and Nicole is giving you the glaring eyes, she said, and I didn't appreciate it at all. I felt like no one was actually listening. They were all like, keep going, but they didn't hear what I was saying. Like, no, just was not an acceptable answer to them. So basically, she said maybe because she felt pressure to say maybe. Like her saying no wasn't good enough for the group. And so to appease the group, she just said maybe to get them to back off, basically. No, and I'm thinking, like, you all big and bold, how you coming across, like, staying 10 toes down in there. If you saying no, tell them you saying no and let that be that. And don't be playing in this main face like you really may be thinking about giving things another shot. I ain't like that. You know what I'm saying? Because you, as no nonsense as you were with him, you should have been the same way with them. No matter how much they was trying to pressure you, or you felt pressured anyway. They was probably more so just trying to encourage you and rooting for you all as a couple and not wanting them to give up. But again, stand 10 toes down in it. You know what I'm saying? Like, just say, I made my decision and I know y'all had the best of intentions, but this is where we are. So please respect the fact that I said no. This is it. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, so he was asking, did she say maybe because of the peer pressure? And she said yes. So now he wants to know where they go from here. And she said, I wouldn't mind being friends. And Max said, I don't want to be your friend. So in her confessional, Dawn says she feels like a carcass in the road that keeps getting run over. I said, here comes the woe is me. Like, she said there have been a lot of jab throwing and petty conversations and petty statements that have been said to me that's immature, and that's not what I want in my life. Listen, girl, listen. Just listen. Like, I am not fool enough to believe that we get to see everything that happens, that's going on. Like, I know things are edited out and all of that. But I also am not fool enough to believe that how you claim you are being treated is true either. Him saying he's not wanting to be your friend is not petty. You'll get that when you're older. Like, when you're looking for a mate, you're not going to settle. At 34, you usually have your circle. You're not looking to add to it beyond your mate, who would then become your next best friend. Like, especially when you're just, like I said, looking for a mate. Like, no, I didn't come here looking for a friend. I came here for a mate. So Max said, I'm going to start packing. So she ends up asking for a hug, talking about friend, not friend. Like, girl, stop. Like, again, childish, immature. So Max said Dom is inexperienced and doesn't know what she wants, and she's not ready for a relationship, and she doesn't know what a serious one takes and needs. So we get another dramatic walk down the hall as she's leaving the apartment. Dom said, she doesn't want anyone walking around Nashville with hate for her. Mac doesn't want to be my friend, and so be it. She says she feels she's being pushed to her limit, and she's gonna go on a soul-searching journey to piece herself back together. Girl, don't act like you done fell apart and you all heartbroken behind this experiment, child. Because you ain't. You are not. And stop trying to make that man feel guilty because he said he did not want to be friends. He's looking for his wife, not a friend. So Max said that he needed time and effort, and he just didn't get that from Dom, but he wants to find his forever person. You know what? I think he is extra sad because apparently, we've all heard rumors that he's been chasing this show for a minute. And so either he's been chasing this show for the fame of it all, or he really believes in their matchmaking skills. Like, he he really believes he would have a shot at finding his mate if he got onto the show. And the way he's pouting, I'm gonna go for the latter rather than the former. Like, I feel like he really thought he had the potential of finding a mate on the show, and because he really seems generally disappointed that things did not work out, and not necessarily that they didn't work out with Dom, but that they just did not work out, period, with a match. You know what I'm saying? A good match, period. So I feel like they definitely did McKinley an injustice with pairing him with Dom. Like, that age gap alone was just too much at her age. Like, I don't think age gaps matter as much like once you get older. But a 25 and a 34-year-old, that's just too much of a big difference. Like, especially in maturity level. And now this is what I don't get. Like, Pastor Cal told Dom that maybe 25 was too young to get married. And my thing is, if you believe that, why did y'all match her? Why did y'all match her? And then not only match her, but match her with someone almost 10 years older than her. Like, cause you couldn't have come to that conclusion after the fact, Pastor Cal. I know y'all had to look at that match and y'all was just like questioning their age and her age as far as being married, but not only just being married, but being married in this type of situation. You know what I'm saying? Marriage is already work and can be stressful at times, but to do it in this type of manner, like, that's just like a pressure cooker. That's like marriage on 1,000. You know what I'm saying? So, and then especially even with like her mom filling out the application, like, she didn't even do it. Like, she had somebody else signing her up. Like, I just think there was a poor choice, and that that the experts could have done better as far as McKinley and giving him a better shot at finding his true love on this show. But anyway, y'all, that's all I got. These previews are looking great. I can't see what else to come. I can't wait to see what else to come. So anyways, y'all jump in these comments. Let's talk about some things. What did y'all think about this episode? What stood out to you? Who had the best housewarming party? Were y'all surprised that Dom and McKinley called it quits? Like, did y'all think she should have given him another chance? Like, what? Let's talk about it. Anyway, y'all, be blessed. As always, I'll pray for y'all. Y'all pray for me. And what? Bye, y'all.